Kidman has filed for divorce from Keith Urban after 19 years of marriage.
Keith and Nicole's shocking $325 million split that rocked the movie and music world. Now we're tracing the clue.
What happens when one of Hollywood's most glamorous love stories suddenly falls apart? Nicole Kidman, the iconic actress whose life has always seemed straight out of a fairy tale, recently stunned the world by admitting, "I can't pretend anymore." For nearly 2 decades, her marriage to country superstar Keith Urban was celebrated as a beacon of stability in a world where celebrity relationships rarely survive the limelight.
Now TMZ reports Nicole Kidman just filed for divorce, even though they were told she wanted to save her marriage.
Strong, deep bond and love.
That was then.
And what it's saying is brutal.
Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have separated. T quote, "She's devastated and didn't want this to happen."
Incredible mom. Loving, maternal, you know. My wife, Nicole, Mary, is here tonight. I love you, baby girl.
The shocker comes just 4 months after this love fest at the ACMs.
Who's having more fun today, you or her?
We both are equal.
From red carpet smiles to picture-perfect family photos, they appeared untouchable. But behind every glossy snapshot, every gushing anniversary post, and every public display of affection, there was a truth Nicole could no longer ignore. Her confession isn't just another celebrity breakup headline. It's a story of love, betrayal, and financial stakes that could rival any Hollywood drama. Between the millions of dollars, legal intricacies, and emotional fallout, this revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, leaving fans desperate to understand what truly went wrong. And yet, even in this highly publicized collapse, Nicole's words remind us of something far more human.
The custody of
Nicole.
My wife, Nicole, Mary, is here tonight. I love you, baby girl. 4 months into our marriage, my addictions that I'd done really nothing about blew our marriage to smithereens, and I went into the Betty Ford Center. Nick pushed through every negative voice, I'm sure even some of her own, and she chose love.
Sometimes the greatest battles are fought quietly, behind the closed doors of wealth and fame. But what exactly pushed her to this breaking point? That's what we're about to explore. For 18 years, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were the definition of the perfect Hollywood couple. Their marriage was more than just love. It was a brand, celebrated with heartwarming anniversary posts, radiant smiles on red carpets, and family photos that looked like they belonged in a magazine spread. Fans marveled at their ability to maintain a relationship seemingly free from the scandals that plague so many celebrities. But appearances, as we know, can be deceiving.
If you want to see what Love and Nicole shares similar sentiments on her account.
Now comes the shocking news that Keith Urban moved out of their home at the beginning of this summer and has his own place in Nashville. There's also a report that he's seeing another woman.
What we've learned is that she really has been fighting hard over the past 3 months or so to save their marriage. This isn't what she wanted.
So even with what I've got now, I've been able to juggle things to accommodate my family.
Behind the carefully curated images was a reality that few could see. While Nicole was working tirelessly on her acting projects, Keith was spending months on the road, touring stadiums across the globe. The distance, combined with demanding careers, slowly chipped away at what once seemed unshakable. Friends and insiders began noticing subtle signs of tension, private disagreements, long stretches apart, and conflicting priorities hinted that the fairy tale marriage wasn't as seamless as it appeared. And though the world saw a united couple, the cracks in their relationship were widening, setting the stage for an emotional and financial storm that nobody could have predicted. As the years passed, what seemed like minor disagreements or career-related stress began escalating into deeper conflicts, ones that would ultimately shatter the illusion of perfection. As Nicole and Keith navigated the pressures of fame and family life, sources revealed that tension was simmering behind closed doors. Nicole's passion project, the indie film Baby Girl, became a surprising flashpoint. Reports suggest that Keith openly disliked the movie, creating more than just a difference of opinion. It became a symbol of a growing divide. Nicole wanted to pursue meaningful roles that challenged her as an artist, while Keith's focus was firmly on touring, nightlife, and personal freedom. Beyond careers, their lifestyles were drifting further apart. Home life, once a haven, turned into a battleground of arguments and silent resentment. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors began circulating of a new woman entering Keith's life, sparking whispers of betrayal that fans eagerly dissected online. Each piece of gossip, each unseen disagreement, compounded the pressure that had been building for years. Suddenly, Nicole's statement, "I can't pretend anymore," made more sense. This wasn't about a single movie or a passing misunderstanding. It was about an accumulation of differences, disappointments, and emotional distance that had quietly festered over nearly 2 decades. And just when it seemed like the tension couldn't intensify further, an unexpected twist in their financial arrangements added a new layer to an already explosive situation. Perhaps the most jaw-dropping revelation in Nicole and Keith's divorce isn't even about love lost. It's about the financial intricacies hidden in their prenup, a legal document that suddenly became headline news. Gossip outlets have dubbed it the cocaine clause, and for good reason. When Nicole married Keith back in 2006, she insisted on a specific protective measure. If Keith ever relapsed into drug or alcohol use, she would retain full control over their combined assets. But if he stayed sober, he would receive a bonus, a financial reward tied directly to his personal discipline and recovery. At first glance, it may seem cold or transactional, but this clause speaks volumes about both trust and tension within their marriage. Nicole, who had been through the public roller coaster of Keith's earlier struggles with substance abuse, clearly wanted to safeguard her family, her career, and the well-being of their children, while simultaneously acknowledging Keith's efforts to stay clean. Breaking down the numbers only adds to the shock. For every year of sobriety, Nicole agreed to pay Keith $600,000. Over the course of an 18-year marriage, that totals $10.8 million, and with bonuses and adjustments, some reports estimate the figure could reach a staggering $12 million. Think about that for a second. A clause designed to protect against potential relapse now becomes a multi-million-dollar headline. It's almost cinematic in its irony. Nicole supported Keith through rehab, through tabloid scrutiny, through public speculation, and through private struggles, and now those very challenges translate into a legally enforceable payout. The clause isn't just a financial safeguard, it's a symbol of how complicated love, loyalty, and legal strategy can become in Hollywood. But beyond the cold numbers, the story behind this clause is even more fascinating. Sources close to the couple suggest that Nicole's insistence on including such provision wasn't simply about money. It was a reflection of her pragmatic side meeting a personal reality. Marrying someone with a history of substance abuse carries risks, not just emotionally, but legally and financially. By creating this clause, Nicole balanced empathy with foresight, ensuring she could continue to support her husband while protecting herself and their children from potential instability. It's a reminder that, even in the midst of romance and affection, practical concerns can't be ignored. What makes this detail particularly explosive is how it intersects with the divorce's timing and public narrative. Fans were shocked to learn that Nicole, who had always projected a polished, flawless image, had quietly ensured this protective measure was in place all along. It reframes her famous words, "I can't pretend anymore." While on the surface, they reflect emotional exhaustion, they also hint at a carefully constructed awareness of her legal and financial position. Hollywood divorces often play out messily, with public spats and emotional confrontations dominating headlines. Nicole and Keith's approach, particularly regarding the cocaine clause, highlights a rare blend of strategic thinking, emotional clarity, and protective foresight. And here's another twist. This isn't just a line in a legal document. For Nicole, it represents years of unseen emotional labor. Every rehab visit, every public defense of Keith during tabloids, every attempt to stabilize the family unit, all of it became quantifiable in a way most couples will never experience. In the eyes of the public, it's a shocking financial arrangement, but behind closed doors, it reflects the messy, often invisible work that goes into maintaining a relationship where love intersects with addiction, fame, and pressure. The cocaine clause also sparks broader questions about Hollywood culture. How much of celebrity relationships are built on love, and how much are governed by legal documents? Designed to mitigate risk, how do private struggles transform into public spectacle? And perhaps most importantly, what does it say about Nicole's resolve that she both nurtured the relationship and ensured she would never be completely vulnerable if it failed? This clause tells a story of power, foresight, and survival in a world where appearances can deceive and every decision carries consequences far beyond what the public sees. Ultimately, the cocaine clause is more than just a shocking headline. It's a lens into the complex dynamics of Nicole and Keith's marriage, a tangible manifestation of loyalty, caution, and calculated risk. It forces fans to rethink the story of their love, not simply as a fairy tale, but as a long, intricate balance between passion, trust, and the harsh realities of life in the Hollywood spotlight. And while money may grab the headlines, the human story behind the numbers, the fear, hope, and quiet endurance remains the most compelling part of all. The financial drama pales in comparison to the emotional weight of custody. Court filings reveal that Nicole was granted primary custody of their daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, with an astonishing 306 days per year, leaving Keith with just 59. In Hollywood, custody isn't just about parenting. It's intertwined with leverage, reputation, and the perception of stability. For Nicole, this arrangement ensures a steady environment for her daughters, while reinforcing control over her family's narrative. For Keith, it's a stark reminder of what he's lost: daily life with his children and the emotional connection that comes with it. The numbers themselves carry an almost symbolic weight, reflecting the emotional toll of fame and the strategic precision behind high-profile divorces. While outsiders speculate, the reality for the family is deeply personal. The contrast between Nicole's public displays of happiness and the private unraveling of their marriage becomes even starker when considering these custody details. It's a glimpse into how love, power, and responsibility collide behind closed doors, forcing difficult choices that no public statement can ever fully convey. Adding another layer of intrigue is the timeline of events. Just months before filing, Nicole posted heartfelt anniversary tributes on Instagram, celebrating nearly 20 years with Keith. On the surface, everything appeared perfect. Yet behind closed doors, custody documents were quietly signed, signaling the collapse of their private life. Fans began questioning whether those posts were genuine expressions of love or carefully maintained facades. Meanwhile, whispers about Keith's midlife struggles only intensified public speculation. Reports described him as restless, distant, and increasingly incompatible with Nicole's desire for stability and meaningful engagement in her career. What once were parallel paths now diverged completely. Nicole's ultimate statement, "I can't pretend anymore," wasn't about a single fight, a movie, or a rumor. It was a release after years of accumulated tension. In this context, her words carry both emotional weight and strategic power. They frame her narrative, allowing her to emerge publicly as authentic and strong, while leaving room for speculation about Keith's personal life. The contrast between public perception and private reality reminds fans that in Hollywood, appearances are only a fragment of the truth. By openly admitting she can't pretend anymore, Nicole regained control over a story that could have spiraled into endless speculation. In the court of public opinion, she now appears composed, authentic, and unwilling to live a lie, while Keith faces rumors of a new woman and midlife challenges. The divorce itself was meticulously planned, with precise custody arrangements and waived spousal support. Nicole's financial and emotional foresight underscores a rare clarity in Hollywood separations. She walks away with the majority O, her fortune, her properties, and public perception intact, while Keith receives $12 million through the prenup and keeps his Nashville mansion. Beyond money, the narrative control matters most. Nicole frames the divorce around her emotional truth, quietly shaping how the world interprets the end of their marriage. And yet, even with all the precision and control, the fallout is far from over. Fans and insiders alike anticipate more revelations about Keith's personal life, the rumored new woman, and what Nicole's next steps will be. It's a story that continues to unfold, proving that even in wealth and fame, human emotions remain unpredictable. So what can we take from this high-profile breakup? Perhaps it's a reminder that even Hollywood's most glamorous couples are not immune to the pressures of careers, lifestyle differences, and public scrutiny. Maybe it's a lesson that love, no matter how deep, cannot always survive conflicting priorities and personal growth. Or maybe it's simple, a glimpse behind the curtain at a reality we rarely see. Behind every perfect Instagram post lies a story of compromise, struggle, and decisions that balance heart and strategy. Nicole Kidman's words, "I can't pretend anymore," are not just about the end of a marriage. They are about reclaiming authenticity in a world built on image. And while the divorce may be finalized on paper, the story is far from over. Secrets, rumors, and new chapters await both Nicole and Keith, reminding us that in Hollywood, love may be temporary, but money, power, and scandal are forever.